MLB in the midst of this, MLB Players Union, this and that, Manfred, the lockout, the other bull crap I'm not going to get into. They approve of the universal DH for the 2022 season.
Love it.
What 2022 season? You mean 2023?
Well, we don't know. And it's looking like maybe a June start right now. I mean, I hate to speculate, but I think that's the earliest they could start at this point. Pitchers and catchers were supposed to report at the beginning of this week. That's not happening now. So
Nope.
it's concerning. It is concerning. Do I like the universal DH as a National League guy? I like it, but I'm not in love with it only because I miss watching Steve Trachsel hit bombs against the Cincinnati Reds at Citi Field on a Tuesday night. I miss watching Jacob deGrom swing the bat and actually get base hits. And I get it. You want to limit injuries, and I'm not saying the universal. I think there's a rule. Sorry, I think we blacked out there for a second. Are we back?
Yeah, I think you buzzed out.
You cut out a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, we have contractors upstairs, so still going through some kinks here technically. But I was talking about the universal DH, and I think the issue is I think pitchers like Otani can still hit if they want, or like any pitcher who's pitching can't they choose if they want to be like the universal DH, something like that? Like the manager can put them in the lineup as the universal DH.
I guess you
could, but it's probably not encouraged.
With the exception of Otani, though, well, Otani also plays in the AL, but with the exception of Otani, what pitcher are you looking at in the NL and saying to yourself, well, I mean, now, especially if anything, this changes the whole game for NL teams. You can now bring in a free agent, a specialist as a DH.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to DH. I don't think any team in the NL is going to DH their pitcher. They're going to bring in specialists to do that.
It's huge for us because our pitchers hit better than our 7 and 8 hitters. So
you're not wrong.
I'm not kidding.
No, I know that.
DeGrom, Syndergaard. I know Syndergaard's gone, but he used to be a pretty good hitter. Made good contact. So I hate the Mets now have 4 DHs.
Who the 4?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that
Dom Smith.
Well, yeah, that now solves your guy's problem, right? At first base in the outfield, you don't have to worry about that issue of Dominic Smith not playing in the lineup, even though his batting average tells you should have him in there.
And he's a great player, but I hate the argument of putting him at first over Pete. I just did not like that argument. I guess you can make Alonso DH if you want to give him an off day and put Dom at first. That's fine.
That's fine.
Dom Smith has been rumored to be a trade candidate for the past 3 years, and it's never happened. So you might as well just keep him at this point.
But that's only been the case because of the fact that this new rule hasn't been a thing. If we're talking about a DH being the DH was a thing in the COVID season, right? In the 60-game season?
It was.
So they didn't have that problem, but they talked about it coming into the new year. Are they going to keep that DH rule? And they didn't. And that's where the Dom Smith stuff started to gain some traction. And it gained even more traction because in that 2020 season, Pete Alonso was – I don't think was that the season that he broke Judge's home run record? Or was that – I think that was the season he broke the home run record. 2019. But that was the season, Pete Alonso in 2020, that he didn't really play that well at the first base position. So there was a legitimate argument for Dom Smith to be in there. But now that he's kind of proven himself because he had a tremendous year this past year, you don't have to worry about trading an asset in Dom Smith, which is a huge advantage. I think so.
And it proved how bad Lindor sucks. I mean, they brought him in because he's a Gold Glove player as well. Pete Alonso bailed him out several times this year from countless errors. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
James, I've watched too many head-scratching throws from Francisco Lindor. I hate that he's on our team.
Yeah. You know what?
I don't want him here for the next 10 years.
This might be the biggest comment I think we've ever had.
What is it?
Pull it up. It's going to
block my God. Screen. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Should I disappear? I'll go.
Tom, I used to think just like you. I was always if you play defense, you have to bat guy. And I used to think the DH benefited players who are crap defensively. Then I saw it in 2020 and changed my mind. Any better than 99% of pitchers taking 3 pitches and striking out. The universal DH will help extend the careers of many players who can't both bat and field anymore, help prevent injuries, and open up free agent opportunities for more batters and more at-bats overall for position players.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's only gonna help you guys. It's only gonna help teams furthermore succeed, especially with teams, because when you break it down, at least what I've seen from the past, and don't quote me on this, is that most of the teams that are leading the league in home runs come from the AL, specifically because they've had the DH opportunity. Now it's kind of an even playing ground.
Like JD Martinez, right? You would never see him on an NL team.
Yeah.
Now you could one day. I'm not saying he'll ever leave Boston. He probably won't. But a player like that, somebody you could look at and say, "Wow, it opens up a whole new opportunity for the National League."
Oh yeah,
I think
that is a good thing.
The days of Edwin Encarnacion with Toronto, you see the situation with Judge and Stanton, the DH positions.
Yeah.
It's only going to help you guys furthermore improve, especially teams that have some struggles hitting. So,
yeah.
I think
it's also going to limit the no-hitters.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. If you guys remember, there were like 6 no-hitters in the first month of baseball, and then I don't think there was another one for the rest of the year.
And because the 8-hitter won't be walked all the time anymore.
Nope.
Because
you're the DH spot.
That's a whole other thing. The inning would be over. You have 2 outs. Oh, just walk the 8-hitter. The inning's over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're going up against like Ohtani or 2 or 3 other pitchers, So,
yeah.
I don't hate it. I will get used to it. I like it, but I don't love it yet. I don't love it.
It opens the doors.
You see why, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Used to something for so long, and now it's changing. It is good change. It is good change, though.
But this is, and again, I'm a fan of the Yankees, but I feel like if you're a Met fan or any team in the NL, you should be, jumping for joy. I mean, it's fun to watch your pitchers hit, but at the end of the day, it's just another opportunity for them to potentially get hurt. Now that you don't have to have that worry anymore. And now you add the home run factor additionally into that. Now you could have a home run god on your team now as just a positional player as a DH just to come up to the bat 4 or 5 times a game. That's a huge, not advantage, but a huge upgrade from years prior.
Lindor will be much better. I hope so, Sal. I'm pulling for him, but I don't know. We'll see.
It's a big contract.
Has an adjustment period. Yeah. It's a big contract to live up to. He may play better, but will he play up to that contract? Probably never.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have given him the contract before he played a single game for us, though. I think that was the mistake.
We'll make sure to have a longer one later. Oh, awesome, though.
All right, come on, guys. End the show so I don't have to disappear again. Now we're playing.
Well, we only have about 13 minutes left. Braves ready to boat race the NL East in 2023.
They got to re-sign Freddie Freeman first.
Yeah.
That's a big one, Noah. That's a big one.
I know a lot of guys hurt last year. Soroka was hurt. Lost Ian Anderson for a little bit right before the playoffs, but then he came back. It was really solid.
They lost Ozuna for the year too.
I don't know if Ozuna's ever coming back.
No, he's probably not. But I'm just saying
he's a moron. He is. I mean, really injuring himself.
Acuna Jr. tore his ACL. People forget last year, and he was having a stellar season too. The first half of the year,
they relied a lot on guys like Swanson, Freeman,
Darno.
Mm-hmm. Another one that got away. This is why we hate talking about baseball, because our team's not good at it at the MLB level. That is.
My team's good at it.
You be quiet up there.
I think we have the nicer stadium.
I agree.
Who's debating that? I'm not saying you could have the greatest venue ever. I'm there for the product, not the hot dogs.
Oh, 100. We're there for the environment.
Yeah.
When I saw Shillelagh Law over the summer at Citi Field, that was better than the game itself. The Mets were playing the Dodgers that night, were held scoreless for 7 innings, decided to score 4 runs in the 7th inning when the people I'm with the game with are dying to leave. I'm like, no, we have to stay now because the Mets decided to be the Mets.
Yeah.
2 outs, load the bases, and then get a pop-up or a strikeout, right? Usually how it goes.
That's about Mets
math. You tie the game. Mets A team lucky to win 80 games. I say the Mets are lucky to win 75. They haven't proven anything to me yet. They lost Syndergaard. They lost Stroman.
You got Scherzer.
I get it.
Great, and if we don't see him play this season, that's what.
But we don't know what Lindor's going to be. We
judge it off
Baez.
games. If you don't see the Mets play this season, you're not going to see any team play this season. You can't judge it like that.
Yeah, but a year older. I look at it that way.
Oh, that's true because he is what, 37. So that
37.
Not buying this Mets team in 2022 just yet.
The Mets. I'll say this with this
90
comment:
plus games.
The Mets should win at least 92 games. Now we know that they always get hurt, and
in what universe?
In what universe? Look at their roster, and now they'll be in search of a DH. We just listed off all those options.
So.
I think that they're going to go get a DH potentially.
On paper, we can win 90 plus games.
Maybe they'll be in on a guy like
paper. James.
That's on paper. I know.
We've read this book too often. Maybe everyone builds us up, and we fall flat. What happens. We're on pace to win 90 games until June comes along.
And we win 72.
Maybe this will drive them potentially to trade for a Matt. 72. Maybe this will potentially drive them to trade for a guy in Matt Chapman now knowing that they have the DH so they could stick him at third, which has been an underlying issue the last couple years. And now they can put all those other guys at a DH position.
If the Mets do what they're supposed to do in the offseason and put all the pieces together.
Okay.
The optimistic side of me says the Mets will win between 85 and 90 games. That's a lot coming from me.
That is a lot coming from you, Tom.